Hello guys, welcome to Crypto Explained. Today I'm going to be running through AirToken, but before I start, I will address your concerns. Yes, I'm wearing a dressing gown. Yes, it's still summer in Britain, and yes, I am exceptionally cold, despite that fact. AirToken. In fact, I'll apologise in advance about the gloominess of the video, the light quality, not the air quality. Well, the air quality is not particularly good either, but the light quality in here is not optimal. But whatever, it's the information that counts, and hopefully it will be valuable to you. So, AirToken. They are attempting to address a problem in the third world and emerging markets where the majority of the people in these countries don't actually have access to bank accounts. And without a bank account, you are severely hampered in a lot of things. You can't get mortgages, loans, you can't pay your bills online, you can't pay your friends online, and you certainly can't take out a mobile phone contract. Now, what they do to kind of counteract this or circumvent this tricky situation is something that we'll find quite alien in the Western world. But what tends to happen is these people who don't have bank accounts will go to a shop and with their cash will buy a prepaid SIM card. And on this SIM card, there will be something called airtime. So they buy this SIM card, bang it into their phone, and they've got airtime. Now, airtime serves two purposes. One, it allows them to transfer it or convert it into network bandwidth so they can surf the internet. And the other one, it acts as a form of currency so they can pay their bills or they can pay their friends, send their friends money via airtime. And they can do this via sending SMS, text message, or they can, I believe, do it through a web browser on their phone as well. So that's pretty cool. It's awesome. Now, there's a problem with this, unfortunately. The network bandwidth is fairly expensive and also limited. And to make things more expensive and more limited, whilst these people are surfing the internet, browsing the web on their mobile phone, they're also being bombarded by advertisements. Now, some advertisements, well, all advertisements take up bandwidth, and some take up more than others, particularly if it's an animated video, or it's a high-resolution image, something like that. So what's happening is these users who pay for their airtime are basically not surfing the web as much as they'd like. And AirToken are attempting to solve this issue. So what they have produced is a little ecosystem where there are really three main participants, or three participants that you'd be interested in. So number one, you have the users. Number two, you have the advertisers. And number three, you have the lenders. So let's run through a scenario with two of these particular participants. We'll start with the users and the advertisers. Okay? So the advertisers will basically get to choose from a group or a demographic, a pool of people who they wish to target their ads towards. And the users, they will download the Firefox browser, and it's kind of a browser, a hybrid app. And what they will do with it is either opt in or opt out of advertisements. Now, I know everyone here in the West particularly would be jumping for joy at the possibility of ad blocking because I can't actually imagine life without it. But yeah, if they opt out of viewing advertisements, then they are able to basically surf the web ad-free and just basically use the bandwidth as they paid for it. If they choose to opt in, then they will see ads as they are surfing, and I believe there will also be an ad section in the app which they can just run through the separate ads. Now, if they go through the whole process of the ad, let's say they have to fill in a survey or download an app or create an account or something like that. In completing the whole advertisement process, they then get paid in AirToken. And this is where AirToken comes in. So they get paid in AirToken, and the AirToken that they will get paid will equate to more than the cost of airtime used for the bandwidth to allow them to actually go through this advertisement process. So the amount of bandwidth spent, or the amount of airtime spent on the bandwidth to allow them to go through this process. So essentially, they will be earning air tokens, and air tokens can be converted into airtime. So it seems like it's a good little model for both. The advertisers are directly advertising to the people they'd want to advertise to, as usual, and the users are basically opting in or opting out of seeing these ads, and if they opt in, they can actually make some money and transfer it to their friends or whatever, or convert it to network bandwidth. Fantastic. Right, scenario 2 is between the user and the lender. Now, also within the app, there will be the possibility for the users to request a loan from lenders. And lenders will basically, similar to the advertisers, be able to choose from certain demographics, certain groups of people, who they would like to lend air tokens to. Now, the groups will be categorized, and AirToken will cleverly collect a load of different data points around each of the users, and will basically determine how much or how great of a risk factor these users are in terms of actually paying the loans back. Now, the greater the risk, the more interest that will get paid to the lender. So, for example, if a lender decides to lend 10 air tokens to a group that's particularly high risk, there might be an interest rate of 80% there. And therefore, the person who requested the loan, the user, when they eventually have to pay and do pay their loan back, they will pay the 10 back and also 80% interest on that, which comes out at 18 air tokens, let's say. I'm sure there might be other interest models, I don't really know, but I'm just giving you a basic example of how this could benefit the lender. So this would work in a situation where obviously like the user's short on cash that month, short on airtime, and so it requests a loan, pays off the bills with airtime, and or simply wants to view more network, or use more network bandwidth, use the internet more, and they might then request a loan. You know, once that's all sorted, pay it back. Maybe they can make some money through the ads and things that they see as well to pay back the loan. That's pretty cool. But, you know, I think it's a little bit of a problem in terms of, you know, what's the disincentive, or what's the incentive to pay back the loan? AirToken, they suggest that they will be able to, because let's face it, one simple sort of circumvention of this particular process would be to buy another, so request a loan, take the money from the loan, spend it, never pay it back, and then buy another prepaid SIM card. You know, quite easy to circumvent. Now, AirToken claim that they should be able to link newly bought prepaid SIM cards with old ones. And so the user almost has a SIM card, a prepaid SIM card account, so they can basically say, even with this new SIM card, no, we know this user is someone who's defaulted on a loan repayment before, don't allow them to take another loan. So it's almost like a negative credit rating, or a bad credit rating. That'd be cool if they could implement it. We've also got another little sort of security, safety, you know, incentive measure for the loanees, the loan requesters, to pay back the lenders. So prior to requesting a loan, or whilst requesting a loan, they have to lock up a certain proportion or amount of their airtime. So say they have 100 airtime in their account and they want to borrow 100 air, then they might lock up 10 airtime, or actually I believe it'd be in air anyway, so they'd have to lock up 10 air, and if they don't pay the loan back, say they loan 100, then that 10 is then distributed amongst the lenders. I don't really see any point in that. I don't think that's particularly providing any more of an incentive to pay back a loan or not. I mean, you know, it's a very small fraction of the overall loan amount, so kind of pointless. I think if they could basically implement this sort of one account for all prepaid SIM cards, and therefore you just get a negative credit rating that you can really only ever improve by sort of paying things back over time, etc., then that'd be cool. So that's how it all sort of works together. You've got your users who get paid from the advertisers advertise directly to the users. then lenders can lend money, air, to the users, and they can convert that into airtime and everything, and the users pay back their loans and with a little bit of interest on top. And so you've got this whole little ecosystem where all three participants are all symbiotically working together, and it seems pretty cool. I like it. I like the concept. If it really works, awesome. That's going to provide a lot of extra benefits and opportunities for the people in these countries who really don't have any at the minute. So that's awesome. My one, I wouldn't say criticism, but my one worry would be that they're going to have to really get this user experience and the UI slick in the app. With the greatest of respect to these people. People in the third world and in emerging markets, particularly if they haven't already got a bank account, there's a very good chance that these people aren't the most highly educated, and it could be quite a difficult system. It sounds quite complicated. I mean, advertisers to users, I can imagine how that would work quite nicely and be easy to implement, but the whole loan process, particularly when they have to pay back interest, and I don't know whether it'd be over a certain time period, and the whole conversion of air into airtime, and then you can also buy air with fiat currency and then convert that into air or airtime and pay, buy a prepaid SIM card, bang that in, that's airtime that you need to convert to air to then pay the air back to the lender. The lender to user connection seems like it's fairly complex, and I really hope that they can get the user experience nailed down and make it really nice and intuitive and really easy for these guys because personally it seems complex and complicated even for me. So they're really going to have to get this sorted for it to be a great success. I think I've basically covered everything. I'm not going to go through their social media stats and their advisory board and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's simple stuff that's just an insult to my intelligence and yours too. And it just takes 5 minutes, guys. So you can do that yourself, I'm sure. So I think that's it. I think I've covered everything. I love the sound of the project. It's fighting a real world problem, or attempting to. I hope it's a success. It'll provide great opportunities for these people who currently don't really have that many. Fantastic. I'm not going to say whether I'll invest or not. I hope this video has been useful to you. I hope it gives you some insight and gives you some food for thought. If you like it, then subscribe and share, and like it, of course. And any comments, any criticisms, whatever, just comment under. Comment in the video below, and if you've got any requests or anything like that for any upcoming tokens and you'd like me to dig into the overall kind of business proposition, then fire them to me as well. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I hope you found this useful. Peace out.